competition, it would have been a visiting club all the way. Martinsburg in white tonight and Huntington in blue. The warning buzzer sounds at the Civic Center. We go to the Veterans Civic Center public address announcer, Frank Blake.
To begin the last session of this 1988 tournament, we ask you to please stand for the invocation to be given by South Charleston student Rick Trumbull. Please stand.
May we bow our heads in prayer. Our Father, we pray for all who are in attendance this evening. We pray for the players who have endured a long season. We pray that through the hours of hardship that they have grown to become a better person. We pray for the parents who have been there in time of victory and defeat, who through their years of encouragement have brought us here tonight. Help us to be brave in the face of danger, bold in the presence of our opponents, and gallant in the face of hopelessness. In thy name we pray. Amen.
For the AAA championship, let's welcome the Bulldogs of Martinsburg. Let's welcome the Pony Express of Huntington. Introducing Martinsburg's head coach, Dave Rogers. Meets at center court with Huntington's head coach, Bill Hess. For the Bulldogs, assistant coach Gary Shook. For the Pony Express, assistant coaches Pat McKee and Neil Ferguson. For Martinsburg, the support staff Robbie Sprinkle, Robert DeHaven, and Gary Shook. For Huntington, Jamie Goodson, Elizabeth Ward, and Rob Burcham. For Martinsburg, the Lions team host is Dick Thaxton. For Huntington, Lions club host is Eric McAllister. And now introducing the squads. For Martinsburg, number 12, Corey Tucker. For Huntington, number 10, Ryan Newsom. For the Bulldogs, number 13, Bobby Rice. For the Pony Express, number 20, Mark Davidson. From Martinsburg, 32 is Eric Johnson. From Huntington, number 25, Brian Ward. For the Bulldogs, 33, D.R. Ambrose. For the Pony Express, 32, J.J. Johnson. From Martinsburg, number 34 is Chris Handy. From Huntington, number 40, Eric Johnson. For the Bulldogs, number 35, Dion Taylor. For Huntington, 42, James Page. And also for Huntington, 52, Bill Saunders. Now your starting fives. For Martinsburg, at 6'2", a senior, number 10, Scott Bullitt. For Huntington, at 5'8", a senior, number 12, Lawrence Jackson. For the Bulldogs, 6'4", a sophomore, number 31, Anthony Dokes. For the Pony Express, at 5'10", a junior, number 14, Kenny Ziegler. For Martinsburg, 6'4", junior, number 30, Aaron Mann. For Huntington, 6'2", sophomore, number 30, LeRon Chapman. For the Bulldogs, a 5'11", sophomore, number 44, Spencer Ferguson. For the Pony Express, a 6'3", junior, number 33, Chris Morrow. And for Martinsburg, 5'6", a sophomore, number 11, Marcellus Basie. For Huntington, 6'6", a senior, number 53, John Bowen. We ask you to stand now for the singing of our national anthem, to be sung by South Charleston student Julie Burt.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
It's game time. The tip-off in 1 minute after this message from Stone and Thomas.
Get into the game plan at Stone & Thomas and find incredible savings on great-looking Lee jeans for men. An exciting lineup of Lee Riders fashions in 100% pre-wash cotton denim that'll get you ready for fun and action. Lee Riders for men. Updated jeans with a high scoring record for quality, style, and comfort. Regularly $21.99, now just $17.99 at Stone & Thomas. So when your lifestyle calls for great-looking, great-fitting jeans, turn to Lee Riders at Stone & Thomas and win with style.
All right, so I'm driving out for a burger like usual, when all of a sudden I hear this music.
Well, I'm tired of the same old thing, the same old way.
Then it hits me. I don't have to eat the same old boring burgers. So I head on over to Rack's and order me a Works burger. Then I take it on over to that Rack's Works bar and fix it up just the way I like it. I tell you what, you eat a burger like that and you're gonna hear music too.
This copyrighted broadcast is made under exclusive rights granted to the Metro News Radio Network by the West Virginia Secondary School Activities Commission. Any rebroadcast, publication, or use of the accounts or description of this game without the express written consent of the Metro News Radio Network is prohibited. Now let's return courtside. Here's Jack Fleming.
Martinsburg in white, Huntington in blue. Huntington goes to the left, Martinsburg goes to the right. They're ready to toss it up in the AAA final game. And the ball is tapped into the Huntington front court, taken by Lawrence Jackson down on the right side. Action Jackson from the corner. Back out to Kenny Ziegler. Bill Hess calls him the most vital man on the field. Here comes the defense and the steal. The ball taken away by Huntington Spencer Ferguson. Down inside, he does not get the layup, but Marcellus Basie follows it up. The first big defensive play, the steal by Ferguson, and the follow-up by Basie. Now tight man-to-man defense, overplaying the ball. Huntington bouncing it down inside, getting the layup try unsuccessfully by Chris Morrow, but a foul on the play. Morrow will shoot two. Aaron Mann commits the foul, his first. That is the first team foul. Morrow, who had 21 points in his first tournament game here, 20 last night, at the line, rolls it across the rim, drops it in. 2-1 ball game. Morrow with a fairly open stance. Dips a little, puts it up off the back of the rim, does not drop. Rebound Chapman, and the ball taken away by Martinsburg. Basie driving into the front court, left to right, and is met at the top of the key and travels. Good defensive effort from Kenny Ziegler, nose to nose. Pulled him up, and he didn't handle his feet. We never got our analysis finished. We'll do it after the game's over.
And we'll be 100% correct, right?
Right. Kenny Ziegler coming up, guarded man-to-man by Spencer Ferguson. Ziegler takes him into the top of the key. Ferguson stabs at the ball, can't get it away. Ziegler maintains it, gets it down inside to John Bowen. They penetrate and score. Huntington leading 3-2. Down comes Martinsburg on the right side. The ball comes out to Basie. Basie being dogged defensively by Huntington. Both teams after the ball. Over on the right side to Ferguson. Whips it into the paint. Taken inside by Anthony Dokes. Puts up the shot. Won't drop. Rebound Chris Morrow. Here comes Huntington. Tosses the ball to Jackson. Jackson down the far side over the 10-second line into the front court. Fakes the pass right. Then hands it off to Ziegler, cutting left on the dribble drive. Pulls up outside. Pass back over again to Jackson. Jackson down to the baseline to Morrow. That's going to be the weapon. Morrow drives the baseline and scores. 5-2. Morrow got the penetrating pass, took it in from baseline right. Fouled by Aaron Mann. That's his second. Second foul at 6:32. Morrow can make a three-point play out of it. He does. He rolls it across the rim. It drops through. And the score is 6-2 in favor of Huntington. We've got Dion Taylor in the ball game now for Martinsburg, a 6'2 junior. They have Aaron Mann in early foul trouble. Huntington showing a 2-3 zone. Bounce pass right side to Ferguson. Ferguson looks inside. The pass comes out to Basie. Basie bouncing it back out deep again to Bullock. Bullock shoots for three. Top of the circle. Misses. Rebound. Jackson. Huntington on the attack. Right to left over the 10-second line. Pass right quarter court. Ziegler gets it down inside to Morrow. Morrow goes to the basket. Misses. Rebound. Anthony Dokes. Back the other way to the right comes Martinsburg. Long one by Basie. High off the back of the rim. That was for three. The ball put up on a follow-up by Dokes. Misses, and the rebound by Huntington. Long pass to Ziegler. Ziegler goes into the right side of the key. Takes it all the way in. Hooks it up there. No good. Rebound. And a whistle. Foul called on LaRon Chapman. Six-2 ball game. Martinsburg got the first basket on a steal and a follow-up.
Bulldogs shooting a little bit cold here early on, Jack. They are 1 of 6.
That would appear to be a bad sign because they started hot last night. All right, outside they come with the ball to Basie. Basie driving down to the left is checked, loses the ball, dives for it, out of bounds to Huntington. Second turnover for Martinsburg. The Pony Express inbounds the ball, leading 6-2. 5:35 in the first quarter. Kenny Ziegler, a 5'11 junior, who's had 10 and 9 points in each of his games here in Charleston so far. They get the ball to John Bowen out high, takes the long jumper, no good in the rebound. Dokes for Martinsburg. Bulldogs on the attack. Dokes rambles into the front court, pass on the right side to Ferguson. Ferguson down to the baseline, 2 men on, hits a jumper from 15. Ferguson, beautiful shot, 6-4. Kenny Ziegler coming carefully against Ferguson. Takes him all the way down to the baseline and reverses, bounces the ball inside. Gets it in there for a layup try by Morrow. He misses, follow-up misses, rebound pulled out by Dokes. Down comes Martinsburg. Ferguson in front of everybody, lays it up. Now, let me explain it. He was off to the side. He laid it up, rolled it over the rim. They came tromping in as he made the shot. Rebound by Huntington. So he missed it, but he did not have the easy shot. Now a dribble drive, the ball taken into the hoop. Lawrence Jackson tries to score inside, misses. Rebound Martinsburg. Down comes Basie to the baseline, left to Ferguson. Gives him a 12-foot jumper, he hits it. 6-6 tie. 4:27 to play in the first period. Ferguson has made 2 of them, 1 baseline right, 1 baseline left. Here comes Huntington, pass stolen by Basie. 2-on-1. Basie from the left, bouncing it to Ferguson, drives under, can't get it, but he is fouled. The foul by Kenny Ziegler, who comes over to Ferguson and helps him up off the floor. Kind of like that.
Both teams are like that, Jack. Very, very good sportsmanship by both of these clubs throughout this entire tournament. And you're right, it's good to see, isn't it?
In high school ball, you'll find it. I can remember in pro ball, there were coaches who would say, never help anybody else. You're saving their energy. Ferguson at the line to the right with the left hand. Misses. Spencer Ferguson now with the second shot, trying to break a 6-6 tie. It's in the air. It is good. Exclusive Metro News coverage of the 1988 state tournament is being brought to you in part by Gino's Pizza.
Attention, here is an important announcement. Gino's wants you to save on pizza. Now you can get a 16-inch pizza with 5 toppings for only $8.99. Take your pick of toppings: pepperoni, sausage, green peppers, onions. Give Gino's a call now and get a 5-topping 16-inch pizza delivered to your door for only $8.99. Gino's, a West Virginia company.
Deep dish or original, it's tastefully terrific. Make it Gino's, make it Gino's. We make it pizza-rific.
Bayou Country, Louisiana. Driving through desolate places like this makes you glad you take your car to Mr. Goodwrench, the GM service specialist. Mr. Goodwrench uses genuine GM parts, the kind your General Motors car was designed to use. Because Mr. Goodwrench knows the last thing you need to worry about in places like this is your car.
For expert service and genuine GM parts, see Mr. Goodwrench at R.H. Peters Chevrolet, Hurricane exit of I-64. No one knows your GM car better. No one.
Huntington puts the ball in play. Kenny Ziegler into Lawrence Jackson. and they bring it up carefully. Thus far, Huntington 2 for 7 from the field, Martinsburg 3 for 9. On the attack now, Pony Express from the outside. The long shot by Jackson, a heartbreaker. Three-pointer had it inside the hoop, came spinning out. Rebound, Morrow. Morrow sets it up, feeds the ball to Bowen. Bowen wheels it down and underneath. There is LaRon Chapman to score for Huntington. 8-7 in favor of the Pony Express. Back comes Basie. Basie near the top of the key, trying to bounce off, gets it over to Ferguson. Ferguson goes baseline from the right side, drives in beautifully to the defensive man, lays it up over his head and in. 9-8. Got two other comparisons between these clubs. Huntington basically a front-line team scoring-wise, and Martinsburg from the outside. Now we have Jackson taking a three-point try from the outside again, missing it, and John Bowen tapping it in for the Pony Express. Huntington in the lead, but here is Basie hitting the jumper near the top of the key. And they give him 3 on it, so it is a 12-10 ball game. Incredible. Marcellus Basie. He has 5 now. Spencer Ferguson 7. And Chris Morrow has 4. On the right side, Morrow moving the ball back out again to Ziegler. Now they get it into Bowen, cutting through the paint. Bowen with a turnaround shot for the left. No good. Tip back out to him. He rebounds the ball, goes back to the hoop. Doesn't get the shot, but is fouled. Bowen is impressive looking. 6'6", 220, 225 pounds, a senior. 18 points in his first game here, 13 yesterday. And he fills up a lot of space. Marcellus Basie committed the foul, number 1 on Basie, and not a shooting foul. Huntington inbounds it now from the left this time. There is the ring. Lawrence Jackson tried it 3 times, and on the 3rd time he got the three-pointer. 13-12 in favor of Huntington. Action Jackson. Basie from 15 with a man up tight on him. Misses, but the rebound. Bullet fires a follow-up from the right side. It is unsuccessful, and the foul is called against LaRon Chapman of Huntington. Keep in mind, Martinsburg is playing without Aaron Mann. Had to sit down, picked up 2 fouls in a minute and a half. Bullet at the line to the right, connects. 13-13. Bullet ready to go again. Bounces it around over the rim, rolls off to the left side, rebounded by Huntington. Down the floor comes Ziegler, driving all the way down to the baseline. Ziegler cuts under, lays it up, no good, and he turned over the ball. Palmed it, 3rd turnover for Huntington. Martinsburg on the attack, 2:24 to play in the first quarter, 13-13. Marcellus Basie over on the left wing, the Bullet back to Basie again. They post up. The big guy, Deion Taylor, down inside. Bring the ball around, swing it over to the right side. Now out to Ferguson. Ferguson cutting into the right of the key, shoots over a screen. Doesn't get it. The rebound by Bowen for Huntington. Huntington on the attack. Jackson coming up over the 10-second line. Gets the ball over to Ziegler. Ziegler into the key. Loses the ball. Knocked away by Ferguson, and down they come. And this is Basie driving in. He misses the layup. An easy one. And the rebound taken by Jackson back the other way. Long quarterback type pass. Went to Bowen. He had the easy shot, passed it up, got the ball to Ziegler. He missed. Ziegler on a follow-up and a foul call. Bowen had the ball, had the shot. For some reason, he decided to give it to Ziegler on the right. Ziegler had a little tougher shot. Ziegler missed it. And on the follow-up, a foul is called. Give the foul to Deion Taylor of Martinsburg. Kenny Ziegler will go to the line. 5'11" junior. Line to the left, puts it up, and it is good.
Jack, to say this game would be a back-and-forth contest would be an understatement. We have played 6 minutes and 16 seconds. We've had 8 lead changes and 2 ties.
Incredible. He makes both of them. 15-13, Huntington leading now. Tony gave you the sweep of the game. Here's the pass going into Dokes, just in front of the foul line. A turnaround one-hander is good, Anthony Dokes. Tying up the ball game, 15-15. Minute 28, clock turning in the first period. Civic Center, Coliseum, Charleston. Great title matchup. Huntington and Martinsburg. Ball knocked down by Basie, picked up by Ferguson. 3-on-2, behind the back, pass Ferguson to Basie. Got it there, but he charged. Ferguson gave him the pass behind the back. Basie came in, but Ferguson in the meantime collided with the defensive player. And the ball was gone, so it's a one-on-one situation, not player possession. I think they may have lost who was involved in the collision. Ferguson is charged with the foul, but who's going to shoot? And it is going to be Chris Morrow. Morrow is 2 out of 3. At the line to the left, Morrow puts it up, rolls it around the rim and in. Good. 3 out of 4 at the free throw line. Huntington leading 16-15. Morrow with the slightly open stance, dips just a bit, flips it up, spins around the rim, sticks. 4 out of 5 at the line for Morrow. 17-15 lead Huntington. Martinsburg in the front court. Basie pass down deep in the hole. Gets that ball down to Taylor. Taylor puts it up on the rim, bounces it in. 17-17. Martinsburg able to penetrate with those passes. Here comes Ziegler into the front court. Ziegler driving left, goes around a pick set out high by Bowen. Tries to pass the ball off, stolen. Basie coming down. Basie to 15. Basie fires. Basie hits. Marcellus Basie. 19-17. Now Martinsburg takes the lead. Another lead change.
10th.
Carefully into the front court. Jackson with the ball. Bouncing to the right wing over to Ziegler. Ziegler with the ball up over his head. Comes outside in the middle to Chapman. Chapman challenged out here by Basie. Gives the ball to Ziegler. Ziegler bouncing to the high post with the ball. Morrow trying to get it down to the basket. Loses the ball. Knocked away by the Martinsburg defense. Basie coming into the front court. Left to right. The pass over on the right side goes to Bullitt. Bullitt in the corner trap. Fires the ball into Anthony Doak. Shoots one from 12 at the right of the paint and hits it. 21-17. Huntington had a 4-point lead early. That's a 4-point lead for Martinsburg. Long outside shot is no good. And did they give Dokes a three-pointer? No. The end of the quarter, the first period, the score. Martinsburg 21, Huntington 17. This is the Metro News Radio Network. He takes the Basie took the inbounds pass, moved the ball down to Bullitt. He hit the one from the right side. 23-17. Huntington back at the other end, has the ball knocked away. They get it outside to Basie. Basie drives into the key, tries to feed it down underneath the Bullitt. Without success, knocked away by Huntington.
Jack, I believe they gave Basie a three-pointer on that shot to begin the quarter.
He got it out to 24 again. That was Bullitt. So a three-pointer for Bullitt. Now Huntington back on the attack. The ball stolen by Ferguson. Ferguson driving into the key in front of the foul line trying to get something going, and he is fouled. Kenny Ziegler commits the foul, and Ferguson will go to the line. Ferguson is 1 out of 2 at the free throw line. Left-hander, shoots good. (25-17), an 8-point advantage. Ferguson's second shot, back of the rim, no good. Rebound, fought for, picked up by John Bowen for Huntington. Tied up, and Huntington gets it on the alternating possession arrow. Huntington will put it in play from out of bounds. Here comes the Pony Express. Ziegler walking the ball up over the 10-second line, guarded by Ferguson. Bouncing down the far side. Diving stab by Bullitt. Contacted the ball, touched the Huntington player on the way out. That is the 10th turnover. Martinsburg gets it back. They're playing some kind of defense, Tony.
Their speed and quickness is really giving them the momentum here, Jack.
Here's Ferguson about 18 feet up in the right side with the jumper. Comes off the inside of the rim, and the rebound goes to Lawrence Jackson of Huntington. Down the floor to Ziegler. Ziegler in the front court. Now the Pony Express has to get something going. They have not been able to get the ball to Morrow recently in the game. And we got a dive by Ziegler on a loose ball. He got it, but he slid out of bounds with it. So the ball goes over to Martinsburg. Huntington led 17-15. Martinsburg has scored 10 in a row to take an 8-point lead. 6:45 to go in the second quarter. They swing the ball left. Now the pass goes into the man, cutting into the paint. That's Deion Taylor for the turnaround shot from 12. 27-17. 10-point lead. Timeout for the Pony Express. And with a break in the action, we take a moment to hear from the professionals at Morgantown Physical Therapy Associates.
Sometimes all it takes to put you out of the game is one word. Ouch! But you don't have to be an all-star athlete to get true sports medical care. Sports Medicine Institute, which includes Morgantown Physical Therapy Associates and Morgantown Orthopedic Associates, provides professional care for the non-professional athlete, from tennis elbow to in-depth rehabilitation. You don't have to live with discomfort or settle for less than your best performance. Let Morgantown Physical Therapy take the ouch out of your game and your life. In Morgantown, call 599-2515.
Reaching for something better. That's what the college experience is all about. Glenville State College has been helping West Virginians do just that for over a century. Located near the geographical center of West Virginia, Glenville State has long been known as a teacher's college. Today, the curriculum includes many other 2- and 4-year degree programs, with subjects ranging from food management to computer science, as well as pre-professional degrees. Reaching for something better. Make it your goal. You'll find all the help you need at Glenville State.
Huntington now 5 out of 12. Shooting from the field. Martinsburg 11 out of 21. Therein lies a vital difference. Huntington has hit a long, cold stretch, extending back into the first period when the Pony Express went ahead on 2 free throws. They go back to about the 4, maybe the 3.5-minute mark in the first quarter since they've had a field goal. That was a 3-pointer. Here's a foul called on Marcellus Basie in the Huntington front court. So you're talking about a span of, we're guessing a little bit, 6 minutes plus since Huntington has had a field goal. And 6 out of 7 for Huntington at the free throw line. Lawrence Jackson will go to the line. He hits. Jackson with 4 points. Jackson's second try, it's there. So Huntington picks up 2. 27-19. Martinsburg with the ball. They've got Eric Johnson in the ball game, the 5'9" sophomore. Here's Johnson with the ball, fakes his man at the foul line, moves it over to Ferguson on the right. Marcellus Basie getting the rest right now. Comes out. Johnson shoots top of the circle. 2-pointer, hits it. Eric Johnson, 29-19. Johnson, a vital 6th man for the Martinsburg club. Now you got the drive by Jackson going into the paint and away from the ball. We have a foul called on Chris Morrow, pushing. So Morrow's called on a push. 15 foul. We go to the other end, and there will be shooting on the 1+1. Scott Bullitt will go to the line. Bullitt ready, puts it up, spins out on him, had it inside, the rebound taken by John Bowen. Bowen out and down the floor to Ziegler. Ziegler rambles in on the right side, bouncing toward the baseline, but it was too far out of the reach of Morrow. And Morrow had to dive for it, again diving out of bounds. And that is 13th turnover for the Pony Express. Incredible number in the first half. On the left wing, Bullitt with the ball. Coming outside to Johnson. Round to the right side to Ferguson. And then the crossover pass to the far side to Bullitt. He's trapped in the corner. Loses the ball. Picked up by Jackson. Jackson comes down covered. He'll fire from about 18. Off the rim, no good. Rebound, Anthony Dokes. Martinsburg. And the outlet is up the floor. Here they come on the attack. driving. Ball put up by Bullitt in front of the basket, no good. Rebounded by Huntington. Long pass goes down to Ziegler, and Ziegler lays it up. Veron Chapman got the rebound. Fired that long pass. Game with 5:10 to go in the first half. So Huntington went a good strong 6 minutes without scoring a field goal. Now the outside jumper for 2 coming from Eric Johnson from Martinsburg. 31-21. Martinsburg is warmed up now. Huntington makes a move to catch up, and Martinsburg answers it. Pass goes into Chapman. Chapman drops it off on the left side to Bowen for a shot that is no good. Got a follow-up that is overruled inside. A whistle. Got a pushing foul. Anthony Dokes is before the shot. Chris Morrow will go to the line, have to shoot for it on a 1+1. 4:37 to play in the second quarter. 31-21, Martinsburg with a 10-point lead. Morrow at the line to the left. A right-hander shoots it from forehead height. It's good. Now Morrow has made 5 out of 6 at the line. 31-22. Morrow readies himself. The next one is also there. 31-23. Here comes Martinsburg down. Moving with the ball, Eric Johnson. 5'9" sophomore. We got a bunch of sophomores. Goes to the right, back over to Johnson again, and again to the right to Ferguson. Ferguson whips it down to the big guy, Dokes. Dokes turnaround shot, close in on the right side. Nothing but nets. 33-23. So Huntington makes a move, and as I said, Martinsburg responds. Here goes the pass into the paint. And they slip it off to Bowen. Got it into Morrow. Morrow made a nice pass to Bowen, and Bowen came to the basket and scored it. 33-25. Martinsburg goes to the left corner to Ferguson. Ferguson baseline left, turning, flipping up. A 12-footer that is no good, and the rebound taken by Huntington. Huntington coming down the floor. Jackson going in, laying it up over Johnson, and he hits it. Lawrence Jackson, chest to chest with Eric Johnson. 33-27. Now Martinsburg will take a timeout. West Virginia's 75th state basketball tournament continues with Hoppy Kercheval and this Metro News Golden Moment.
March 25th, 1978, the old Charleston Civic Center, the Class AA Championship, matching the Blue Demons of North Fork and the Mustangs of Mount Hope. North Fork led by a future Mountaineer, Russell Todd. Mount Hope led by a sensational sophomore standing 6 foot 10 inches, Earl Jones.
North Fork leading Mount Hope. Russell Todd with the ball. 8 feet away on the left side. Takes the jump shot. No good. Rebound ripped out by Earl Jones of Mount Hope. Starting up court with a right-hand dribble. Over the midcourt line. It's 2-on-1. Jones behind the back. Straight down the lane. Leaps. Slams it. Earl Jones, he can do it all. He took the rebound. Brought it up the court. Went behind the back and slammed it home.
Jones' numbers for the game, 23 points, 14 rebounds, and 7 block shots. But while Jones won the matchup with Russell Todd, North Fork won the title. The West Virginia State Championship, memories that last a lifetime.
Here are the stats to the moment. Huntington 9 out of 20 from the field, 1 of 3 from three-point range. Martinsburg 14 of 26 from the field, 2 for 4 on three-pointers. Free throwing, Huntington 10 out of 11, Martinsburg 3 of 7. But Huntington with 13 turnovers, the Bulldogs have 4. Martinsburg on the attack. Bounce pass outside of the right going to Ferguson. He crosses it over to Bullitt on the left side. They get it back to Johnson for a drive into the paint. Lays it up in front, no good. On a rebound try, Dokes has it batted back in his face. Saved outside by Ferguson. Ferguson slips the ball to Johnson, and Johnson resets. Down to the left corner area to Bullitt. Bullitt fires and hits for 2. Deep over in the left corner, Scott Bullitt. 35-27. The lead is once again 8. Huntington had cut it down to 6. Now to Pony Express, getting the ball inside to Chapman. His shot out in front of the basket comes off the rim short, and the ball is knocked out of bounds by Martinsburg. The Pony Express will inbound at its own end of the court. 3:03 to play in the second period. AAA title game here in Charleston. Kenny Ziegler with the ball on the right side, gives it to Johnson. Johnson fires long from the right. Three-point try was no good. Follow up from the left by Chapman is no good. Bowen with the rebound, gets it up, it won't drop, and we have a foul. Bowen working out in front in a lot of traffic. We also have Kenny Ziegler limping a little bit. Bowen was fouled by Deion Taylor, his second. And here's Bowen at the line, and he cans the first one. Now they bring Aaron Mann back into the ball game, and Deion Taylor will sit down. Bowen has the second shot. It bounces over, trickles off to the left, rebounded by Scott Bullitt of Martinsburg. 35-28. Martinsburg in the lead. Up the floor, left to right, Eric Johnson. Ambling into the front court. Swings it over to the right side to Ferguson. Ferguson drives to the baseline, cuts underneath. He hit the line, out of bounds. Turnover. Number 5 against Martinsburg. Inbounds pass for Huntington goes to Lawrence Jackson. Jackson, right to left, comes over the 10-second line. Picked up by Johnson of Martinsburg. Fires it over to Chapman. Chapman gets it inside, and it goes to, guess who? Morrow, who rolls it up over the rim good. 35-30. Huntington cuts the lead to 5. And here comes Martins back into the front court. Outside, the ball given to Ferguson. Ferguson looks down inside. Little lead. Alley-oop pass going in there to Aaron Mann. He couldn't get it, but it is followed up, though, inside by Scott Bullitt. 37-30. Back in the front court, Lawrence Johnson for Huntington. Over on the right side of Chapman. Chapman goes down to the baseline. Drives all the way to the basket, but he was fouled about halfway in. Foul goes to Scott Bullitt, his first. LaRon Chapman will go to the line. It'll be a 1+1. 37-30. Martinsburg in the lead by 7. Chapman at the line to the left. And with the left hand, rolls it around the rim. Doesn't get the roll, but the follow-up by John Bowen is good. Bowen puts it in. 37-32. Long pass down the floor. Ferguson right side. Ferguson back out again to Johnson. Swings it over to Ferguson. Ferguson played tight on defense, loses the ball, regains it. Throws it out to Bullitt. Bullitt to Johnson. 16-footer right of the key. Off the right side of the rim, no good, and on the rebound, the foul is called on Huntington's John Bowen, his first. So with 1:40 to play in the first half, and with Martinsburg leading by 5, 37-32, Aaron Mann, who has not scored in the ball game, has been on the bench much of the first half. Mann is at the line to the right. Shoots it up like a bullet, comes off the front of the rim, no good. The rebound taken by Chapman and given down the floor to Jackson. Jackson in the front court outside to Ziegler. Ziegler across to Chapman. Chapman goes up in the air, the ball knocked away from him, stolen by Bullitt. 3-on-1. Bullitt drives, lays it up, a beauty. 39-32. Not much choice for the guy back on defense there. 3 coming in on him. 39-32. Fine defensive play by Bullitt. And here's another. They almost got it back again, but the ball was saved. This was Jackson driving through the paint. The ball knocked away from him into the hands of Morrow, who scored it underneath. 39-34. Morrow is there to get that ball. Now here's a nice play by Jackson. He steals it away from Johnson, and Jackson goes. Traveling called on him. Traveling was just ahead of a near collision. Johnson went down on his haunches, and Jackson went over Johnson. (39-34). And now Martinsburg is going to hold it outside for a while. Ferguson with the ball. Basie is still on the bench. Ferguson flips a pass that is stolen. Taken away by Ziegler. Drives down, lays it up. It doesn't drop. He rolls it around the rim. No good at the rebound. Ferguson back the other way for Martinsburg. Into the front court. Ferguson gives the ball to Johnson. Johnson down to the left corner to Bullitt. Bullitt's shot is rejected. The defensive play by Chris Morrow, and on the effort, he went through the bench all the way into the crowd. 16 seconds. Inbounds play for Martinsburg. Great effort in this game. Outside to Ferguson. Ferguson deep to Johnson. Johnson going to the left side, then back out to Bullitt. Bullitt for 3 down the middle. 3-pointer. Home run, Scott Bullitt. 42-34. Long shot by Huntington's Lawrence Jackson. 3/4 length of the court. No good. We're at halftime at the Charleston Civic Center Coliseum with the score. Martinsburg 42, Huntington 34. This is the Metro News Radio Network. would seem to be a logical strategy. Be a little more careful. Keep the ball away from Martinsburg a little bit. That's not always easy because Martinsburg plays defense like glue.
Yep.
Absolutely like glue. So here they come. Martinsburg back out on the floor, and Marcellus Basie is back in there along with Spencer Ferguson. Aaron Mann, Anthony Dokes, and Scott Bullitt. Huntington coming back with Chris Morrow, LaRon Chapman, John Bowen, Lawrence Jackson, and Kenny Ziegler. Martinsburg will have the first possession of the second half. Said Basie is what, a nephew of Fulton Walker?
That's right.
Great Martinsburg athlete, great athlete at WVU and in the NFL. And here we have Basie getting the ball inside to Dokes. Dokes can't find the shot, flips it off to the left, gets the long one from the outside by Bullitt. And the ball knocked around on the rebound, picked up by Huntington. Nice move. Down to Jackson. Jackson sails into the basket. Shot is no good. He's called on a charge. That was a great play at the other end by Morrow as he went down on the floor and got the ball to Lawrence Jackson. And now that is typical of what has been happening this evening. They've been making the play, going the length of the floor, but at the other end they run into trouble of one kind or another. All right, Martinsburg now getting the pass inside to Aaron Mann, but he's fouled over the shoulder by John Bowen. Number 2 on Bowen. Not a shooting foul. That's 2 team fouls on Huntington here at the beginning. Pass comes in to Basie. Basie, right side, bouncing it out to Ferguson around to the left, swings it over to Bullitt, and Bullitt traveled. Bullitt heading to the baseline. Martinsburg's 8th turnover. On the attack, Huntington. Pass going inside. Now here's where it was headed. Headed into Bowen. Knocked away right into the hands of Morrow, and Morrow puts it up and scores it. He does a great job of that. And down comes Basie. And Marcellus Basie hits one. So we got a 44-36 ball game. Huntington in the front court. Bouncing the ball to Bowen, and Bowen works his way into the paint. Never gets the shot away. He's fouled. Foul called on Scott Bullitt, his second. So there's no shooting. Huntington goes into the right corner, and there is Jackson to take the shot for 3. That's his second home run shot of the night. 44-39, and the long one for Martinsburg by Basie. Misfires on the rebound, knocked out of bounds, and it's out to Huntington. Now the Express can see a little light at the end of the tunnel, down by 5 with 6:37 on the clock here in the third quarter. Jackson in the front court, swings to the left, over to Ziegler, foul line extended over on the left side. Ziegler bouncing it down inside to Chapman. Chapman lays it up and in. 44-41. 6:20. Basie with the ball, has it knocked away. Basie dives, gets it. Over to Ferguson on the left side from 18. His shot is off the rim. Ferguson rebounds it. Goes up for a follow-up shot. In and out. Follow-up, though, made by Anthony Dokes. 46-41. Now they got 3 shots that time. Ferguson got 2 and Dokes got 1. Great offensive board play. Down comes Jackson. He takes the jump shot. It misses. Short, out of bounds to Martinsburg. Aaron Mann inbounds the ball to Basie. Basie down to Ferguson, back to Basie. Basie driving into the key. Charge. Number 3 on Marcellus Basie. Basie might be trying to force it just a bit now. I'm sure Dave Rogers tell him, you know, you can't do it all yourself.
He looked over at Coach Rogers as he started back out the floor and said, hey, just waved him off. He said, don't worry about it. I'll be fine.
Yeah. Here comes Huntington on the attack. Jackson into the front court. Out comes Chapman high to take it around on the left side. They give the shot to Ziegler. It's off the rim. Rebound, Aaron Mann. Martinsburg down to Basie. Basie from 17, a running jumper is no good, and the ball knocked out of bounds by Chris Morrow. Martinsburg to our left, rebounds under its own, or rather inbounds under its own basket. 46-41. They swing it out again to Ferguson around to the right side to Bullitt. Over on the far side, they get the shot no good from Bullitt. Rebound by Morrow. Morrow's outlet intercepted by Bullitt. Bullitt comes back the other way, takes it down the right side of the lane, all the way and lays it up. What a move. Scott Bullitt showing his senior ability. Intercepts the pass, takes it down, goes to the hoop, scores it. Martinsburg in a 2-3 zone. Huntington attacks to the right side. Morrow goes baseline. Almost lost it, saved it brilliantly back to Ziegler. Ziegler into the paint, gets the ball to Bowen. Bowen takes the 10-foot jumper and hits it. 48-43. Here's Basie back in the other direction. Basie just inside the arc. Takes the shot, no good, rebounds it. Drives the baseline, goes through people like a worm, just squirming through there. Gets it back outside for the shot by Bullitt. Will drop. Rebound. Big guy, John Bowen. Down the floor comes Ziegler. Ziegler feeds it underneath, and Jackson lays it up and in for Huntington. 48-45. 4:17 to go in the second, or rather the third period. On the right wing, Ferguson. Ferguson with the ball up over his head. Now tries to pass it outside. Stolen. Jackson coming down against Dokes. Jackson fires it up and in and fouled by Dokes. What a play by Jackson. Stole the ball. Took it down. Had Dokes with him all the way. Jumped, laid it up, banked it in, and was fouled.
What a beautiful play there. It was a physical height advantage there for Huntington, but he took it right to the hole. Lawrence Jackson, tremendous job.
Free throw is in and out. So it is 48-47, a one-point ball game. Out of the left outside, Bullitt with the ball. Bullitt's pass is intercepted, picked up by Jackson. Jackson leads the attack down, puts it up from 8. Good. Huntington goes ahead, 49-48. 3:45 to play in the third quarter. A drive sparked by Lawrence Jackson. Exclusive Metro News coverage of the 1988 state tournament is being brought to you in part by Jambi's Restaurant in Morgantown.
Next time you're in Morgantown, you've got to find Jambi's Restaurant. Maybe you meant to last fall, but that football traffic is fierce. This time, take your time to savor Jambi's menu from breakfast through the day. Italian food that's really homemade. Hoagies, sandwiches, and burgers that make a whole meal. Great Mexican dishes, seafood, steaks. Jambi's is on University Avenue just past Patterson Drive, about halfway up the block. It's where people who love food as much as sports get together in Morgantown.
Get into the game plan at Stone & Thomas and find incredible savings on great-looking Lee jeans for men. An exciting lineup of Lee Riders fashions in 100% pre-washed cotton denim that'll get you ready for fun and action. Lee Riders for men. Updated jeans with a high scoring record for quality, style, and comfort. Regularly $21.99, now just $17.99 at Stone & Thomas. So when your lifestyle calls for great-looking, great-fitting jeans, turn to Lee Riders at Stone & Thomas and win with style.
Huntington down by 7 at 48-41 and scored 8 in a row to take the lead 49-48. They've been sparked by Lawrence Action Jackson. 9 points in that drive. Here is a pass down to the baseline, and Aaron Mann responds with his first field goal. Now we're back to trading it again, Tony. 50-49 in favor of Martinsburg. 2-3 zone Martinsburg. Aaron Mann getting his first field goal. Here is Jackson again, a three-pointer from the right side. He is hot. He is sizzling, 52-50. Long one by Basie, no good. Basie's lost the range momentarily. Long pass for Huntington. Jackson tries to save it, can't do it. Rebound was by LaRon Chapman. Tried to hit the open man all the way down the floor, and it almost went into the Huntington cheering section. But there was Jackson trying to save it. Jackson has 19 points in the ball game. Basie back into the front court. Basie lobs the ball, gets it in the man, and Mann lays it up in traffic. Beautiful shot from the right side. Now we got a tie, 52-52, and Martinsburg stepping out with a new weapon. Aaron Mann, who was on the bench much of the first half. Outside, Ziegler giving the ball to Chapman. Chapman cutting to the foul line for a jump shot. Won't drop. Ball rebounded by Ziegler. Ziegler goes back out to Jackson. Jackson down the middle for 3. Not quite. Tap inside. Misses. Follow up and in. LaRon Chapman. 54-52. 2:20 to play in the third quarter. Huntington leading by 2. Basie over to the right side to Ferguson. Back to Basie again. Basie a charge. That's his 4th foul. And that may bring action from the Martinsburg bench. Dave Rogers speaks to one of his assistant coaches and then goes to Deion Taylor. So Basie sits down. 7 points in the first half before he got into foul trouble there, and 2 points in the second. Huntington gets the ball inside, and it is laid up. It will not drop. It is tapped in by Chris Morrow. Pass within the Morrow, laid it up and missed, then tapped it in. 56-52 in favor of the Pony Express. Back in the front court, Spencer Ferguson driving into the paint, slips it over to the left side, and it is knocked away from Deion Taylor. Out of bounds. Martinsburg will inbound it. Scott Bullitt at the end line. Lobs it back to Ferguson. Ferguson around to the right side to Bullitt. Bullitt looks underneath, gives it to Ferguson. Top of the key, 2-pointer. In and out on him from out there. Rebound put up and around the hoop and in by Aaron Mann. 56-54 right now. Aaron Mann is the savior for Martinsburg. He has hit 3 in a row in here. 6 points. 56-54. Lawrence Jackson, crowded by Ferguson. Gives ground, gives the ball to Ziegler. Ziegler wheels it over to Morrow. Morrow outside a 17-footer, no good. Rebounds it, lays it up inside, in there. Chris Morrow. 58-54 in favor of Huntington. With 1:05 to go in the third quarter. Here's Ferguson. Right side of the key. The ball stripped away by Jackson as he went up to shoot. Jackson comes down. Looking in for Bowen. Can't find him. Gives it in the corner to Ziegler. Ziegler cutting across the paint. He palmed it. On the move. 52 seconds. Martinsburg will bring it back down the floor, right to left. Here comes Ferguson. Into the front court. Ferguson drops it over into the left corner. Now the pass goes in underneath. A shot is put up inside by Anthony Dokes. It doesn't drop. And the rebound taken by John Bowen. Huntington back on the attack, left to right. Pony Express coming into the front court. Ziegler on the right side, back over the shoulder. Jackson. Jackson cuts toward the foul circle. Tries to put up a shot, is fouled by Ferguson. Spencer Ferguson commits his second foul. Jackson will go to the line for 2 shots. I'd never noticed just how small he is. He's listed at 5'8". He looks a little frazzled out there, but I'll tell you what, he's playing. He is playing. Puts it up, good. 59-54. That's his 20th point. Jackson has 21 as he makes the second. 60-54. That's Huntington's biggest lead in the ballgame. On the left side, Ferguson. Ferguson works that pass inside the man. Mann from the lane out in front of the basket. Lays it up good. 60-56. Out in the middle, Jackson controls the ball for Huntington, going one-on-one with Ferguson. Ferguson stabs, can't get it. Jackson feeds it down underneath. Shot put up and in by Chapman. Fouled on the play. Jackson with a great penetrating pass. Gets it down inside to LaRon Chapman. Chapman puts it up neatly and scores it. And he is fouled. He'll go to the line for a 3-point chance. Give the foul to Deion Taylor, his third. 62-56. Huntington by 6. Chapman with an opportunity to make it 7. With the left hand, off the rim, no good. Rebound, Morrow, off balance, one-handed, up and in, can't believe it. 64-56 at the end of the third quarter. I was waiting for the scoreboard to turn. There it is, the end of the third period. Huntington 64, Martinsburg 56. This is the Metro News Radio Network. Huntington High School has come from an 8-point deficit at the end of the first half to an 8-point lead at the end of the third quarter. What a third period the Pony Express had. It has the ball first in the last period. And there's Jackson. Jackson against Ferguson. Puts it back behind him, getting the ball out to Ziegler. Ziegler hits the high post to Bowen. Bowen off to Ziegler. Ziegler cuts around a man, feeds the ball beautifully underneath, laid in by Chapman. Oh, are they penetrating? 10-point lead, 66-56. Huntington doing what we had talked about, going inside. Plus the great outside play of Jackson. Here's a long one for Martinsburg. By Bullitt will not drop, and the rebound by Morrow. Now I'm looking here to see where he got it. A drive. Ziegler heading into the basket. He's fouled. 2-shot foul. And here comes Basie off the Martinsburg bench. That's who I was looking for, relieving Deion Taylor. So the situation has gotten critical enough that they've got to risk him. Ferguson has picked up his third foul, and Ziegler is at the line to the right and hits. Kenny Ziegler has 3 out of 3 at the free throw line, 67-56. Huntington by 11. Ziegler's shot is in and out. Morrow with the rebound. Morrow goes up, blocked for the foul call. Foul charged to Spencer Ferguson. That's his 4th. Martinsburg's backcourt. Basie with 4. Ferguson with 4. And Morrow goes to the line. Chris Morrow with 20 points. Morrow in the circle to the right. The free throw is good. In the first half, he made 6 out of 7. Now he is 7 out of 8. This one bounces off the back of the rim. Rebound Ferguson. 68-56. Down by 12. Martinsburg on the attack. Ferguson into the paint. Lays it in there nicely to Mann. Aaron Mann scores. 68-58. Now Martinsburg getting some pressure. Basie. But how much pressure can he apply defensively? He doesn't want that foul. And here driving around him, Jackson. Floating in there for the layup. Back down comes Basie, and Basie gets into the air for the shot and is fouled. The foul's on Jackson. That's his second. Saw visibly that last time Jackson coming down, Tony. Basie just finally fell off of him. He doesn't want that foul. And they're bound to know that. Basie will shoot a pair. At the line to the left, it is good. Basie again. Round the rim. No good. Rebounded by John Bowen. 70-59. Here's Huntington on the attack. Ziegler in front of the foul line at about 12-foot range. Puts it up and in. 72-59. Long pass down. Ferguson tips the ball up at his fingers. Took it sailing in under the basket. A brilliant play. 72-61. Ferguson way up in the air for that one. Back comes Jackson. Jackson drives in. Bodies all over the floor. We have a jump ball. And on the alternating possession arrow, they go back in the other direction. Martinsburg's ball. 72-61. Martinsburg needing to be patient. Here's Basie. Gets the ball over on the far side to Ferguson. Basie that time was in a collision with Jackson. Jackson took a fall but did not draw the foul. Ball into Basie on the right side, back out to Ferguson. Ferguson slips it over to Basie again. Basie inside the arc, takes the long shot for 2. It is no good. Tie up underneath, and the ball goes out of bounds to Huntington. So the ball belongs to Huntington now, and here comes Jackson. 5:50 to play in the final quarter of the final game of the 75th annual state tournament. Ziegler, nice little alley-oop into Morrow. Morrow lays it up, no good in the rebound. Pulled out of there by Aaron Mann. Down the floor to Basie. Basie drives in, pulls up on the right side. Jackson doing a great job covering him. Back out comes the ball on a bounce pass to Bullitt. Over to Basie again. Basie's open for the three-pointer. He hits it. Jackson fell off of him just for an instant, and Basie took advantage of it. 72-64. That is with 5:20 to go. Lead down to 8. 72-64. Jackson driving in there, loses the ball, and from behind, Bullitt goes down. Here is a pass and a shot tried. Bullitt is on the floor writhing, and Morrow lays it up. Bullitt had a rebound and was coming out of there, and somebody fell into him from behind. Sort of a clip. And now it is 74-64. Well, when you've got 2 of your key players with 4 fouls and your one senior goes down and you're trailing now by 10, you've got a problem. Scott Bullitt still getting attention from the training corps. Throughout the year, a priority matter for the West Virginia SSAC is Project Target. This ongoing program is concerned with identifying and acting on the problem of mood-altering chemicals in our schools and athletic programs. Project Target is just as concerned with preventing problems as solving them. School personnel, parents, and students are all involved. If you'd like to see Project Target in your school, contact the West Virginia SSAC. Most attention being given to Scott Bullitt's left leg. He's up now, walking off the court. Got a great training corps here. I don't know all of the names. They're assigned to cover every team in the tournament. They're out there on the job quickly.
I believe they're members of the University of Charleston training staff.
Okay, let's see. Scott Bullitt is out of the ball game, and who do we bring back in? Eric Johnson. Here's a nice pass. Basie dropping the ball off inside to Aaron Mann, and Mann responds. 74-66 with 4:44 to go. Huntington on the attack. Martinsburg going man-to-man, expanding the pressure, but here's Jackson uncovered at 16-foot range at the left of the key. Running jumper, a beauty. 76-66. Back down the floor comes Eric Johnson. Johnson to Basie over on the far side. Basie gets it in the man again. Little rainbow pass. Doesn't drop. Man tries to follow it up. Doesn't drop. Rebound down to Jackson. Jackson to Ziegler. Ziegler lays it up. Won't go. Ball outside. Here comes Basie 3-on-1. Basie in the middle, 4-on-1. Basie pulls up. Drops it underneath to Johnson, and he scores. 76-68. 4 minutes to go. Huntington leading by 8. Kenny Ziegler into the front court. Ziegler drives down on the left side. Ziegler looks underneath, bounces the ball into Bowen. Bowen double covered, lays one up on the left side on a turnaround shot. No good. Follow up by Chapman, misses. Now another man down on the floor. Rebound by Ziegler. Out to Jackson. Jackson hits a three-pointer. And we have another Martinsburg player hurt. Jackson hits a three-pointer with a timeout on the court. Time to hear from Rack's Restaurants.
All right, so I'm driving out for a burger like usual when all of a sudden I hear this music.
Well, I'm tired of the same old thing, the same old way.
Then it hits me. I don't have to eat the same old boring burgers. So I head on over to Rack's and order me a Works burger. Then I take it on over to that Rack's Works bar and fix it up just the way I like it. I tell you what, you eat a burger like that and you're going to hear music too.
Double rebate days at R.H. Peters Chevrolet. That's right. For a limited time, save on a new Chevy car or truck with GM factory rebate and a special bonus rebate from R.H. Peters Chevrolet. Double rebate days are the time to save on the sleek Chevy Beretta Coupe or Corsica sedan. Style and performance for under $10,000 after $500 manufacturer's rebate and $500 matching rebate from R.H. Peters. Double rebate days are going on now at R.H. Peters Chevrolet. I-64 Hurricane Exit.
Jack Fleming with Tony Caridi here at the Charleston Civic Center Coliseum. Down to the final 3 minutes and 39 seconds of the season. That's what it adds up to. You're strangely quiet. You're pondering. You're thinking.
Contemplating.
Contemplating. Here comes Eric Johnson out. Scott Bullitt. Marcellus Basie. Deion Taylor and Anthony Dokes. Aaron Mann is on the bench. He was the injured player. And right to left on the attack, Johnson in the front court. Gets it over to Basie, back out to Johnson. Fires, hits. Eric Johnson, a two-pointer right on the line out there. 79-70. 9-point lead, Huntington. The pass comes outside to Morrow. Morrow has been a tower of strength, particularly in the second half. Morrow is far outside, and he's got Anthony Dokes with him. Now they're going to spread it out. Run a little time down. Morrow being challenged out here by Anthony Dokes. Morrow drives, flips it back out again to Ziegler. Morrow pops back out to take it again. Martinsburg man-to-man. They double up Morrow. Gives it over on the right side to Chapman, to Ziegler, and back to Morrow again. Or rather, gets to Morrow. Then outside to Ziegler. Ziegler cuts toward the key. Fires it back out again to Jackson. 2:40 to go. Out comes Morrow to take it. Morrow driving. Off to Ziegler. Now a pass wide of a cutting Jackson, but saved by Bowen over on the far side. 2:25. Morrow with the ball. Morrow fouled by Anthony Dokes. I would judge that's the wrong man to foul. He has made 7 out of 9 so far tonight, but we'll see. Chris Morrow goes in on the 1+1.
Interesting strategy, Jack, and a strategy that cannot be used in the pros or in college. But they spread the offense out, and wisely so, leading by 9 points. They chewed up about 50 seconds of clock time.
Huntington 15 out of 22 at the foul line. Morrow up off the back of the rim, no good. Strategy worked there. Now we got a foul called on Jackson, holding on the rebound. So we go to the other end of the floor. No, we won't, because Huntington is not over the limit yet. 4th team foul on Huntington. Scott Bullitt will inbound it. And here comes Eric Johnson up the floor. Johnson over to Ferguson on the right wing. Ferguson trying to drive. A little bump. He turns around, shoots a call footer from the right and hits it. Spencer Ferguson. 79-72, 7-point game. 2 minutes to go. And getting a timeout for the Pony Express. West Virginia's 75th state basketball tournament continues with Hoppy Kercheval and this Metro News Golden Moment.
March 22nd, 1986, the AA championship game between the Maroon Knights of Wheeling Central and the Wolfpack of Williamson. With just 2 minutes and 6 seconds to go, Wheeling Central held a commanding 9-point lead. But the Wolfpack, led by sophomore Anthony Strother, put together one of the greatest comebacks in state tournament history.
11 seconds to go. Here comes Strother against Palmer. 8 seconds. Strother on the right side. 5 seconds to the baseline. Turnaround jumper is good. It's good with 1 second left. Anthony Strother hits the shot from the right baseline with 1 second to play.
Down by 9 points with just over 2 minutes to go, the Williamson Wolfpack won the Class AA championship game by 1 point on Anthony Strother's game winner. It was celebration time in Mingo County. The West Virginia State Championship, memories that last a lifetime.
2 minutes remain in the ball game. 79-72, a 7-point spread between Huntington and Martinsburg. Scott Bullitt out there. Got Ferguson, Basie, Johnson, Bullitt, and Taylor. Smaller lineup for Martinsburg. Here's a lead pass down in underneath, and it's stolen away. Ferguson comes up with the ball. Ferguson driving down the floor. Ferguson takes it all the way in for a jumper that is blocked and give it out of bounds to Huntington. Ferguson's jump shot blocked. Minute 49. Bouncer in on the right side, over to Johnson. Back out again to Basie. Basie wants the shot. Can't find it to Johnson. Again to Basie. Basie trying to get loose, has the ball stripped, and the foul is called on Lawrence Jackson. That's his fourth, and the 1-and-1 goes into effect. Basie is salivating for that three-point shot, and Jackson covering him like flypaper. And that time, Jackson had the shot. Jackson is smiling and talking to himself. Marcellus Basie hits the free throw. 79-73. And he hits another one. 6 out of 12 for Martinsburg. 79-74. Bulldogs need the ball. Here's a pass broken up and the ball is loose. The play was made by Johnson. Basie got the ball. Basie fires one and is fouled. Johnson made the play. Critical play. Basie came up to help out. He got the ball. Laid it up on the right side of the lane. The shot was good and he was fouled. 79-76.
Jack, we saw this Martinsburg team do it against St. Albans and come from behind fashion. And they're on another spurt now.
Basie hits. That was Kenny Ziegler's third foul. 79-77. 2-point game. Huntington in the front court. Ziegler trapped. Ziegler wants timeout. Ziegler trapped right in front of us. A great job by Johnson and Ferguson. Took the only course he could, a timeout. Now Huntington at this point with a 2-point lead can ill afford to not go to the basket. Some strategy. They've got to go to the hoop.
This is what it's all about, Jack. This is how it should end. AAA championship game, 2 points between the two clubs with 1:15 to go. Just a great game.
Absolutely. Martinsburg started off trailing 6-2. Looked like the Bulldogs might get blown out. No way. They were ahead 21-17 at the end of the first period. They led 44-36, or rather 42-34 at the half. Looked like the Pony Express would get blown out. No way. Pony Express bounces right back. Takes a commanding lead with 3:39 to go. Huntington led by 11. 79-68. Now Martinsburg has scored the next 9 points. 79-77. Now we have 1:15 to go. They stack 4 at the center of the floor. The inbounder will be Kenny Ziegler. Ziegler into the backcourt to Jackson. Jackson driving. He's got Johnson with him. Outside, Basie comes to help out on the trap. And the ball kicked, they say, out of bounds. Huntington will inbound it with 1:10 to go. 79-77. What a finish. On the far side, again, is Ziegler to inbound the ball, getting it into Jackson. Jackson driving to the right side of the key. Shoots over a screen. No good. Rebound. Ferguson. Ferguson driving. Ferguson coming under. Ferguson lays it up. 79-79 with 55 to go on a steal. Not a steal. It was a missed shot. Here's a Huntington pass broken up. But they get it back. And down inside. The ball knocked away. Stolen. Picked off by Bullock. They took it away from Chris Morrow. Martinsburg with the ball. 39 seconds to go. Timeout called by Martinsburg. Bulldogs have the ball. 79-79.
Jack,
tell me.
You'd never guess you were in Charleston, West Virginia with the way this crowd is reacting from the far reaches of the Eastern Panhandle. They come, and the fans here in Charleston, Huntington only about an hour away, are in the majority support favoring the Bulldogs.
Now you've got the Pony out there, the mascot for Huntington, and the Bulldog, the mascot for Martinsburg. And a guy dressed up like Captain Marvel. I tell you what, Tony, I'd like to see you in those blue pantyhose with that gold bikini pants on over top. Is that wild? I just saw him for the first time. Look at that. But he's one of the mascots. Here we go. 37 seconds. Huntington already out on the floor. Martinsburg will put it in play at the far end to our right. The inbounder will be Scott Bullock. And the ball comes into Marcellus Basie. Basie comes up carefully. Over the midcourt line, 30 seconds. Gives it outside to Ferguson. Ferguson drops the ball to Johnson. And again to Basie, 20 seconds. Basie guarded by Jackson. They double him up, puts it over to Ferguson. Ferguson down to the baseline, jumper from 15, no good. Rebound pulled out of there by Morrow. And timeout. Is there a foul?
They're going to call a foul, Jack. Against Scott Bullock.
Scott Bullock committed his third personal. Rebound by Chris Morrow. So at the other end, Huntington will go to the line. Morrow has made 7 out of 10. However, he's missed his last 2. Morrow requests a timeout.
I'll tell you what, Jack. Martinsburg's Spencer Ferguson got the shot that they wanted. He burned Ziegler, got into the left baseline, and pulled up from the jump, 7 feet away from the basket, just outside of the painted area. He pulled up and fired that shot, and it just banged off the rim, and on the ensuing rebound, they call Bullock on the foul.
So the game swings to the other end of the court, but with 12 seconds to go.
Very interesting. If you'll remember back to the quarterfinal game between Martinsburg and St. Albans, very similar situation. Final seconds of the game, St. Albans is at the foul line. They've got a couple of shots, make one, go up one, miss the second. The little guy, Basie, rebounds, fires it down the floor, gets it to Ferguson, and Ferguson lays it up, and it is good. So we'll see what happens.
The stuff of which dreams are made of.
And golden moments.
I've always wanted to do that myself. Grab the ball and put in the shot at the last second. Couldn't even make the team. Morrow at the line, 1+1. Circle to the right. 12 seconds to go. Tie ball game. Chris Morrow of Huntington. The right hand. Rolls it off the rim to the right side. No good, but it is rebounded by Kenny Ziegler. Ziegler to Jackson. Jackson fires from 15 on the move. Hits it. 4 seconds to go. Long pass down to Ferguson. He lays it up, and it goes in at the buzzer. It's a tie ball game. Jackson hit the running one-hander in front of the foul line with maybe 5 or 6 seconds to go. The ball on the long pass down, and Ferguson went under, hung it up. It was hanging on the rim when the gun sounded. It fell in to tie it, 81-81.
He did it again. Marcellus Basie did it again down to Spencer Ferguson. That's the second game in a row he's done that. He took the ball with 4 seconds to go at three-quarter court. He fired it like a quarterback would rifle a bomb. Ferguson hung it up there, and I'll tell you what, it laid right on the front of the rim. It was either going to come out or go in, and right as that red light came on underneath the backboard, the bucket goes.
81-81. 3-minute overtime period coming up. Well, listen, you couldn't find a better way. Not a better way to wind up the championship. The note there that Dale handed, so the bullet boxed off the board. What was he? What did he box off of the defensive board? (81-81). First overtime game that we have had. Jump ball. Dokes and Morrow. Huntington and Martinsburg. And the tap goes to Huntington. Chapman with the ball. Gives it to Ziegler. Attacking left to right. Ziegler outside. Martinsburg man to man. Lawrence Jackson. Dribble drive, spins, gives the ball back out again to Chapman. Chapman bouncing to Ziegler. Ziegler comes around to the right side. Picked up by Basie, gets the ball into Morrow. Morrow wheels around, goes up for the shot, fouled by Anthony Dokes. Made a move around Dokes. Took off with a shot. Made it and was fouled by Dokes. And Morrow will go to the line. 3-point chance. And he hits. 84, 81. Here comes Marcellus Basie. Basie working against Jackson. Gets the ball in for the turnaround shot by Bullitt. About 10-foot range in the paint. 84 to 83. Back comes Huntington. Jackson into the front court. 2:20 to play in the overtime period. Down they go to their bread and butter man, Morrow. Morrow lays it up. It won't drop. Morrow with a rebound. Follow-up shot is up and in, and he was fouled. Morrow missed the first one. Morrow stayed in there and struggled. Finally got the follow-up shot away and was fouled on it. And it went in. 86-83. Foul called on Scott Bullitt, his fourth. Anthony Morrow at the line to the right. It is good. 87 to 83. Now we have got 2:10 to go. Down comes Basie, fires from 12 on the right side of the lane. No good. They fight for the rebound. Morrow comes up with the ball. Morrow with the outlet up the floor to Chapman. Chapman into the front court. Martinsburg down by 4. Huntington with the ball. Kenny Ziegler being chased. Lost it momentarily, picked it up. Moves the pass to Chapman. Chapman fires 18 feet out on the right side. Misses. Rebound by Marcellus Basie. Long pass down the floor, intercepted by Kenny Ziegler. Here comes Huntington back the other way. Basie's pass did not work. Ziegler into the front court. Lobs it on the right side down to Chapman. Back out again to Ziegler. And they spread it out with 1:28 to go. Ball over to Jackson. Jackson doesn't spread it out. He cuts into the paint, puts it up from about 13 on the left side of the lane. Unsuccessfully fouled by Eric Johnson. No, it's on Anthony Dokes, and that is his 5th. So Dokes has fouled out, and back in comes Deion Taylor. And Lawrence Jackson on the 1-and-1 at the line to the right. No good. And the ball is out of bounds to Martinsburg with 1:23 to go. Inbounds pass is to Marcellus Basie. Basie brings it down into the front court, right to left. Swings it over to Ferguson. Ferguson into Bullitt. Bullitt gets it up beautifully back behind the board and leaned out and went up in the air for that one. 87 to 85. Clock turning 1:05 to go. Pass comes outside to Ziegler. Ziegler around to the right on the wing over to Chapman. Now back to Ziegler. Martinsburg covering man-to-man down on the right side to Chapman. Ball goes into the big guy Morrow. Turnaround shot is a beauty. 10 feet off on the right side, and Chris Morrow hits it. 89 to 85. Down comes Basie for 3 points. He hits it from the outside. 89 to 88. That's with 35 to go. Now the clock's at 33. Officials say inbounded again. 29 seconds. Huntington up by 1. Bouncing the ball out to Ziegler. Ziegler challenged by Basie. Over to Jackson. Back again to Ziegler deep. Ziegler covered by Basie. Either one of these guards can take a foul because he's out of the ball game. Down to 10 seconds. Huntington has the ball. Outside, and they're taking the foul as Johnson fouling Jackson. Right in front of us, Jackson bending down, holding his ribs here. 7 seconds to go. Martinsburg calls timeout. So Lawrence Jackson will go to the line. Jackson has made 4 out of 6 at the free throw line. The score is 89-88. Huntington leading. What a finish. What a second finish.
You'd have to look back at this when it's all over with so we can have the 100% accuracy of hindsight. I would wonder if you would foul earlier if you're Martinsburg. You're down by 1 point, and Huntington was not going to go to the bucket with it. And you're already down 1, so why not commit the foul earlier and have a shot? Even if they do come back down here and make 2 shots, you're going to be down 3. They'll have more time to go after a 3-pointer.
They were keeping the ball out here and keeping it in the territory of Basie and Ferguson, both of whom have 4 personal fouls. So if they're going to take the foul, one of them has to go out of the ball game. Finally, they swung it down on the right side, and that was when Johnson could get in there and take the foul. He apparently took a good one because Lawrence Jackson was holding his ribs.
They gave him a shot.
So Jackson will go to the line. But I agree with you. It took up more time than you would want. Now Jackson at the line to the right. Free throw is good. 90-88. Jackson. Good again. 2 of them. 91-88. 5 seconds. They need a 3-pointer here for a tie. Basie from the outside, not quite the back of the rim. Basie dribbled down the middle. Let that one go from, I would guess, 25 feet. That is a guess. And you know what? It was close enough that it came off the back of the rim. He was inches, literally inches away from tying up the ball game once again. The Huntington fans streaming all over the floor. This is the first championship for Huntington since 1969, and they are happy. The final score in 1 overtime, Huntington 91, Martinsburg 88. We'll return to the Charleston Civic Center Coliseum in a moment to recap the game after this message from Glenville State College.
Reaching for something better. That's what the college experience is all about. Glenville State College has been helping West Virginians do just that for over a century. Located near the geographical center of West Virginia, Glenville State has long been known as a teacher's college. Today, the curriculum includes many other 2- and 4-year degree programs, with subjects ranging from food management to computer science, as well as pre-professional degrees. Reaching for something better. Make it your goal. You'll find all the help you need at Glenville State.
If you're 8 to 18 with basketball on your mind, put the Gail Catlett Mountaineer Basketball Camp in your plans. June 12th to 17th and 19th to 24th are 2 weeks of concentrated basketball instruction and activity. Week 1, the emphasis is on basics. Week 2, competition week for boys. It's also Girls Week with special instruction from the WVU women's coaching staff. Don't wait to apply. Write Gail Catlett Mountaineer Basketball Camp, Box 877, Morgantown, 26507. Do it today.
Attention, here is an important announcement. Geno's wants you to save on pizza. Now you can get a 16-inch pizza with 5 toppings for only $8.99. Take your pick of toppings: pepperoni, sausage, green peppers, onions. Give Geno's a call now and get a 5-topping 16-inch pizza delivered to your door for only $8.99. Geno's, a West Virginia company.
Deep dish or original, it's tastefully terrific. Make it Geno's, make it Geno's. We make it pizza-rific.
Well, your friend Chuck Landon predicted Huntington by 3. He must have a crystal ball.
Oh,
right on the money. And some great performances. Lawrence Jackson coming out of there. I've got him with 32 and Chris Morrow with 31. But now we're ready to go across the floor to the voice of the Civic Center, Frank Blake.
On behalf of the Board of Control, the Board of Appeals, and the West Virginia Secondary School Activities Commission staff, we want to thank everyone for being a part of this 1987-88 West Virginia Boys State Basketball Tournament. It's unfortunate that the purpose of this game tonight was to determine a winner, because in our eyes, all of the participating teams are winners. Back on November 16th, all teams in the state were equal, and each had the opportunity to be where these teams are right now. So it's a great honor to have come this far, and we want each of the participating teams to know that it deserves the respect and admiration of everyone throughout the state of West Virginia. The National Federation of State High School Associations motto is that athletics is the other half of education. The West Virginia Secondary School Activities Commission would like to take that a little further by saying that we feel that athletics also help provide the discipline, integrity, and courage that are necessary to cope with the problems in life. And now we would like to recognize Mr. Jack Wiseman, Dr. Russell George, and Dr. Jack Flanagan, West Virginia Secondary School Activities Commission Board of Appeals members, who will present the awards to these outstanding basketball teams. The first award this evening will be the Sportsmanship Award, and the winner is St. Albans High School.
Arnold Moore, the head coach of the Red Dragons, comes out to pick up the Sportsmanship Award for St. Albans. They lost to Martinsburg in the quarterfinal round.
The next award will be for the best cheering section, and the winner is Huntington High School. Next, we have the all-tournament team, and the members are asked to come forward at this time and remain for pictures. From Beckley, David Kidd.
Just a tremendous player. David Kidd of the Beckley Flying Eagles had a great quarterfinal victory and a Division I prospect.
From Martinsburg, Marcellus Basie.
And what can you say about this guy? He almost tied the game up with about a 35-40 footer here. He's only a sophomore. He'll be back to that table, I'm sure, before his high school career is over.
From Chris Morrow.
Tremendous inside player for the Huntington Express. Really sparked the club in the second half today in their victory.
From Wheeling Park, Anthony Reed.
Named the state's player of the year by USA Today earlier this week. Just a junior.
From Martinsburg, Scott Bullitt.
Another Martinsburg Bulldog, Scott Bullitt. Tremendous senior for this Martinsburg team.
From West Fairmont, Scott Benson.
Big Scott Benson, 6 feet 6 inches tall, power player inside for the Polar Bears.
From Huntington, Lawrence Jackson.
And without this guy, Huntington High would not have won this game today. He exploded in the second half.
And from Martinsburg, Spencer Ferguson.
Tremendous player, Spencer Ferguson. Won it for the Bulldogs in the quarterfinals over St. Albans. Tied the game in overtime tonight. Picture time now for the all-tournament team. Three Bulldogs, one member of the Pony Express, a member of the Beckley team, a member from Wheeling Park, and a Fairmont West player. And the pictures continue. Flash bulbs, video cameras, you name it.
And now we would like to present the individual awards to the runner-up team from Martinsburg. Please step forward at this time to accept your individual awards.
My favorite part, Tony, is to watch the cheerleaders. They all look like there's been a death in the family at one end of the floor. The others are celebrating. 4 kids from Martinsburg, they're crying. They'll recover. It's funny when you're that young how fast you recover. Here are the Martinsburg Bulldogs. They were getting that all-tournament picture taken. And young Mr. Jackson was talking to I guess he was talking to Marcellus. Apparently got a little smile out there.
And now we present the runner-up trophy to Martinsburg.
Beautiful trophy, huh?
Really is.
Well, like you said yesterday, these young fellas will probably be back again. Scott Bullitt is the only senior from the starters, and Chris Handy off the bench. The rest are all sophomores and juniors. They start 3 sophomores and 1 junior. Their number 6 man coming off the bench, Eric Johnson, is a sophomore. Leon Taylor is a junior. So they'll have great experience a year from now.
First Martinsburg team ever to reach the championship game.
Went over the whole book today. I couldn't find another time, so it's quite an accomplishment.
And now to receive your
Huntington,
individual championship awards for the members of Huntington. Please step forward at this
Ninth
time.
time here, and Huntington.
And here come the Pony Express stepping up to the awards table.
Should have saved this paper to begin with. 9th trip to the title round and the 7th championship for Huntington. All time. But the first one in 19 years.
Their first championship was 1925. They beat Wheeling 17-15 in 3 overtimes.
Don't ask me if I remember. They played it in Buchanan.
And now, with pride and pleasure, we present the Class AAA West Virginia Boys Basketball Championship Trophy and game ball to Huntington.
Well, they're a happy group, but they're cheerleaders. They're all out there. We'll return to Charleston in a moment with a final comment. This is the Metro News Radio Network.
We thank you and invite you back next year. Good night and drive safely.